Hi everyone, my name is Georgiana Haynes. I wanted to do a video for you guys for a long time now. It's been quite a few months and I just haven't gotten around to it. I thought it was because I was waiting for the perfect lighting, the perfect conditions, the perfect hair, the perfect makeup, the perfect level of background noise, but as you can see, I don't have any of that today. The reason is because I realized that it wasn't any of those factors I was waiting for. It was fear. I was afraid of doing this video for whatever reason, but through talking with a few friends of mine this past weekend, I made the decision to do it afraid. Just do it, get it out there, and not let my fear stop me. The reason we were talking about fear for other things, but it reminded me that I wanted to do this video for a long time, and this particular topic that I wanted to speak about actually was letting fear stop you from achieving or accomplishing your dreams and goals. The reason that it came to me was because I was clearing out some paperwork a few weeks ago and I came across a package, envelope of contracts that I had from representatives who have been removed over the years. And I had about 86 contracts, and I started going through and looking through them and thinking, oh my gosh, these are people that I sat down with to do the appointment, and everybody in here had dreams and goals. They wanted to earn extra income and take trips and vacations and put their kids through college. But all of these people, at least the majority of them, maybe some have come back that I don't know about, but these were people who had these dreams and goals and had this idea that their Avon business was going to provide that for them, but somewhere along the line something happened and they didn't get that. And I was thinking, have they given up on their dreams and goals, or did they just feel that an Avon business wasn't the right route to get there? And as I was going through, I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, maybe I said something wrong, maybe I didn't encourage them properly, and I was really feeling down. I said maybe I didn't make the right connection during that first 45-minute appointment, and maybe I had alienated them or made them feel that this wasn't possible. But then I came to this one person's contract, this one woman. I remember she had just lost her job. She was working in that office for a long time, and she made the decision that she wasn't going to be put in a predicament again where other people would be able to just let her go despite all the contribution that she had made to the company. And she said she was going to start her own Avon business. She was going to work for herself and be in charge of her own income. But you know, we did the appointment. She was really excited. She left with all these ideas. She went home. I called to follow up in 2 days, and she had entered the witness protection program. She didn't answer phone calls. She didn't answer emails. I didn't hear from her for a while, but I kept reaching out, and I finally got in touch with her again, and she said she hasn't done anything with the Avon. She changed her mind. She didn't want to do it anymore. And it turns out that after our appointment together, she went home and she told her husband that she was getting started with her own Avon business, and he told her that she wasn't going to make any money with it. She wasn't going to be successful. It was a waste of time. And it became like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She got that in her head that she wasn't going to succeed. She never took any of the brochures out of her kit. She didn't do any of the things that we had talked about. And of course, she didn't end up being a success. She didn't do anything with the business. She just gave up on it. And I was thinking about what she said, because I was upset. I was saying, how could you let something that someone else told you influence your future? I didn't say this to her, but I remember thinking it and thinking, you know, I thought she was going to be very successful. She thought she was going to be very successful, but because of something else had said to her, she had let all of that go. And then I had like a mirror come in front of me, and it was like, excuse me, you can't be mad at her because you do the very same thing. And that was the moment where I said, okay, I'm going to make a YouTube video, and I am going to share two pivotal moments in my life. The first was freshman year of college, my first year in architecture. I had a project. We were at midterm point, and it was about 2 weeks. We were at the middle of the project. Actually, it wasn't midterms. It was 2 weeks before midterms, and we had presented our project to our professor, and he kindly tore me a new one. He told me that my project wasn't going to fly. I needed to change it. So it was like a last minute change. It happens all the time. I came to figure out. But I was devastated. I couldn't focus. I was trying to do a section. I've been drawing sections since high school, and for some reason I couldn't draw this section. And I started to think about all the times that people said to me, they're women architects, there are no women architects, you're not going to get through this, it's going to be 5 years of school, it's tough, and half the people who start drop out. And all of this started to fill my mind, and I couldn't focus on what I was doing. I couldn't cut the stupid section. And at that point, I decided that I was going to quit. Freshman year, I was like, I had it. I'm not going to succeed at this. I'm getting out of this major before I waste any more money. We can't afford to throw money down the drain. And I made the decision to call my mom and tell her that I wasn't going to do this anymore. But I was in tears. I was a blubbering mess sitting in the hallway of my school. One of my professors happened to pass by at that moment, you know, to make things even better. You're crying in front of your professor. So I get on the phone and I'm calling my mom a mess. And if you have West Indian parents, you know, you can't just call and say, okay, mom, I'm going to drop out of school. I'm done. I'm going to be coming home. She would reach through the phone and just slap me a couple of times. But so I decided that I was going to explain to her why I was quitting. Let her know that I was having trouble with this stupid drawing, and the professor had told me that my project wasn't going to make the cut, and, you know, ease into the fact that I was leaving that major. Not school, just leaving that major. So I get on the phone with her and I'm trying to explain to her that I couldn't draw this section of my design. And now that I think about it, I realize that even if I was coherent and not crying, she probably wouldn't have been able to understand what I meant by cut a section. So she said to me, whatever, just call your mentor, call Hugh, and explain to him. So I got off the phone, and now I'm like, okay, I have to call my mentor and explain to him why I don't want to do this major anymore. He's also West Indian. So same tactic. I said I was going to explain why I wasn't going to do this anymore. Got on the phone with him, not crying as badly as before, because, you know, you don't want to cry in front of your mentor either. But I decided, I was trying to explain to him that I was having trouble, and before I could even get to the fact that I was leaving school, I remember saying to him, I can't do this anymore. I can't get it. I can't do it. I can't get it. I can't get it. And he was like, just come to the office. Come speak to me face to face. He was a couple of blocks away from my school. So I said, okay. Went, washed my face, tried to get it together a little bit. Walked into his office, and I remember he actually gave me 2 pieces of advice. The first was calm down and have a piece of chocolate. Think that's why my freshman 15 was actually more like a freshman 50. But the second piece of advice he said to me was, get that word out of your vocabulary. Get that can't, that 4-letter can't word out of your vocabulary. Don't use it. Don't think it. Don't put it out there. He was like, there's nothing that you can't do. Once you get that into your head, that just saying that word is the end of things. You don't want to use that word. And for years, he held me to it. But I remember that was a moment where he said to me, there's no such thing as can't. Don't even use the word. And he kind of held me to it. And I tried to find ways around it by saying, you know, the chances of me achieving this are highly unlikely. The time frame that you gave me to finish this project is, you know, impossible. But basically he said, you know, don't use that word can't. Don't use the word never. And don't use the word impossible. He was like, nothing's impossible. It just hasn't been done yet. And he said, there's nothing that you can't do once you put your mind to it. Even if it's never been done before, it just means that you haven't done it yet, or someone hasn't done it yet. And the second thing that I thought about was speaking with my district manager, a district manager that I had a few years ago. At the time, she was trying to, she had pegged me. She decided that I could be the next advanced unit leader for our district. And I was like, okay, I just got to unit leader. I busted my hump to get here. You know, AUL, there's no other AUL in our district. I had never met an advanced unit leader or above. I've read about them, the Lisa Wilvards, hey Lisa, the Donna Reed Mitchells, hi guys. Those were motivations to me, but I never really believed that I could get there, and especially not within like a 6-month time frame. She wanted me to do it in time for the fast start bonus. Avon had some incentive, and she thought, my district manager thought that I could make it, and I was like, no, There are no AULs in the tri-state area. I've never met an AUL. Those are for people down south and upstate. Those are people with different circumstances. I think I was maybe 24 at the time. I was like, I'm in my 20s. I am too young. You know, I made up all kinds of things. But basically, I was telling her that I can't do this. But because I put in my mind not to use the word can't, I was trying to weasel my way out. But she said to me something else that stuck with me. She said, just because no one else is doing it doesn't mean that you can't. And it came to pass that I did become an advanced unit leader, and I was the only one in the district for a long time. But as I sat and I looked through all 86 contracts, I thought, these are people who put it into their head or let other people influence them and they start to believe for themselves that they can't do this thing, or that because no one else was doing it, they couldn't either. And I don't want anybody to feel like that. And I just want you to stop using that word can't. Take it out of your vocabulary and see what a change it could make in your life. Not just for Avon, but for every area of your life. If you can take that word can't out of your vocabulary, stop using it, I think that you will be surprised at how much you can accomplish. Just to backtrack, if you don't know my story, I actually did graduate from the architecture program. I did the 5-year program, and I graduated with honors. So for those of you who are using that 4-letter word that starts with a C, don't let it hinder you from your dreams and goals. Don't let it stop you, because you can. You just need to believe. So that's my first message. That's my brief 14 minute video. But I just wanted to put that message out there. Don't let it stop you. Don't let it hinder you. Don't let other people's thoughts and ideas from you stop you. Even if you're afraid to do it afraid.